What's up, guys and gals? And I will just say this right out of the gate. I really enjoyed episode 8, even given the CGI, even given the video game graphics. I think that was necessary given the budget, given the time restraints, given everything that goes on with Record of Ragnarok. Listen, I mean, this is the community that complained about the PowerPoint in Season 1. Adding CGI to make this fight actually have good animation, even I would go as far as to say sometimes great animation, following up into such a major fight, you know what? I'm good with it. I'm good with it right out of the gate. You know what? This could be a short of just me saying episode 8 is good. Episode 8 is good, because it brings about a question that a lot of people have had about the implementation of CGI for a long time. Adding, the computer-generated stuff and the AI into modern anime and stuff. And this has been done. The funny thing is that a lot of people complain about this like it's a modern problem, but it's been done for almost the past decade. Like, how long do you consider modern? Because this has been done in multiple animes, in multiple TV shows. It's been done in multiple things to varying degrees of success. And I would argue in this particular situation, I don't think hand-drawn, given a movie-level budget by one of the greatest studios, sure, go at it. Do Dragon Ball Broly, and you'll have my money. But they weren't going to give that type of budget for 3 episodes that this fight is going to be. They just weren't. So, the CGI route, which they tried to incorporate as best they could, they tried to incorporate the actual hand-drawn quote-unquote, but you guys know what I mean, the 2D drawn, as much as possible, and I appreciated that, given the fact that the suit creates a lot of issues there, you know what I mean? So, and sometimes, obviously, Beelzebub also gets caught up in this very, okay, this is a video game. I'm playing a video game, and it's noticeable. I'm not going to say it's not noticeable, but did it take me out of the moment? Not really, because since the beginning of the opening for this season, I sort of expected it. Do you know what I mean? So, as far as episode 8 goes, the fight starts. They're both, obviously Beelzebub is on his whole Eeyore, woe is me sort of candle and stuff like that, and we've already seen his backstory from the previous episode and things like that. So we understand why he's melancholy. We understand why he is the way he is, but in this case scenario, I love Tesla's attitude of non, no, nin, yet, and he's just like completely like, yeah, no. Everything is explainable. Everything is science. You just need to believe. I might not understand it right yet, but give me time and I bloody well will. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that once again, because even though this is not my favorite interpretation of Tesla, as an electrician and as Tesla being one of the, obviously the godfather of modern electricity, I have a stupid amount of respect for the man. And I obviously would have written him a little bit different than this, but that's my own bias. I don't dislike this interpretation either. And it's still pretty good. Obviously, with the amount of time we've given Beelzebub, there's some obvious narrative choices that are going to be made here, but the fight itself, which is all that's going on right now, really. The fight itself, we're starting to slowly get in. I believe the next episode is going to be the Tesla backstory, because we start to talk about it at the very end of the episode. But here we get this episode where They start off, they match off and stuff like that. We see the vibrations, we get the explanation there. Then we see the Tesla goes, we see that information right there. And it's just a great exchange. The animation's good. And I love my peak moment of this entire thing is Brunhilde, with Gull always asking the question. She's been doing this since season 1. She's been doing this for every round. Like, wait, how does that work? It's Ares, like, Gull is Ares and Brunhilde is Hermes, right? God, human side, right? They're always asking the same questions, and normally we just get a simple explanation from one side to the other. However, this time, I love this. Gull just goes, but wait, what is a Tesla, like, super alloy? Like, what is that? Brunhilde just sitting there, standing there, totally confident, arms folded. Alright, this hurts my back, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, she's like this, and she goes, just confident, like she always is. How the fuck should I know? And I'm like, that's where you drop the F-bomb. It worked. It was hilarious. I literally LOL'd. I quite literally did. I laughed out loud, and I can freely say that the moment I saw that, I was laying there on my back, you know, trying to rest my ribs and stuff like that, and I was watching this, and I was like, and I if I had a drink, I would have spit it out, because I actually went, wait, what? And it actually hurt my ribs to laugh, because I'm not, you know, I can't do the deep breaths, and I can't do the coughing and any of that stuff. But I laid there, and when that happened, I was like, oh, what? Did she just literally say that? So then I went back, and I went back like 20 seconds, and I watched it again. I was like, yeah, she straight up said, how the fuck would I know? And I'm like, yes, I love this. I love this to death, because this is a woman who understands. This is just a character who understands, and I love the idea that finally it's like, okay, I might be well versed. It's like me, like, I'm well versed in many trades, just from being in the trades from so long. I know a lot about a little, sort of idea, you know? I know a little about a lot, however way you want to look at it. But there are some things that I straight up, I'm like, I have no fucking idea. Now, most tradesmen and most men and women of today, modern people anyways, don't want to admit their faults. They don't want to sit back, and they don't want to say, hey, I don't understand this. You know, someone asks you a question, and you're like, I don't know the answer. People feel embarrassed for that reason. Me, no. I'll be like, yeah, I know 95% of how this thing was built. I have no fucking clue how that shit was done. You gotta call somebody else. I have no problem admitting my limited knowledge. And I love that Brunhilde is literally the embodiment of that feeling. She's like, okay, I know everything about, like, multiple gods, all the mythologies, all the methods. I have watched 3,000 years of humanity. I have watched, you know, this swordsman to mastery and all the techniques that they mastered. I know everything about kenjutsu, nanjutsu, this jutsu, the other jutsu. I know everything about electricity. I know plumbing. I know infrastructure. I know heavenly religion. But I have no fucking idea how Tesla is doing this shit right now, you know? Like, I just appreciate that she has been the fountain of knowledge for 7 rounds, and then in round 8, I got no fucking idea. It made me laugh. I love it. It's placed completely in the right spot, and it actually made this episode immediately, like, no matter what this episode's rated, like, I would rate it about a 7. It was a good episode. It wasn't a great episode. It was a good episode, right? But I mean, average, like just an average episode is a 5. Because once again, let's go on the real scale. 5 to 10. You know, out of a 10 scale, a 5 is, you could skip this episode. You know, it's an average episode. It's watchable, but it's not great. Then you have a good episode of 6. You have a really good episode of 7. You have a great episode of 8. I'd give this a 7, as this is a really good episode. It's not a great episode, but it's really good. but it gets that 7.5 for that moment alone. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I just really liked it. I thought the episode was fun. It felt really, really short to me. Like, I watched the episode, I was like, wait, what? It's done? You know? So, yeah, definitely watch the episode. Great episode. And hopefully some of you from the last episode are back now. The anime-only viewers, there are no spoilers in this episode. Can't promise that will not take place in future episodes, but of course I will obviously spoiler tag or edit into the beginning of the video like I did last time. So be sure to check out all the videos and episode reviews going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all back here next time, hopefully, for episode 9 and every episode going forward. Look forward to it. Hope you guys are too. Have a good one. Sayonara.